Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Um, I'll go ahead. I Could Never by Chad Kaydo, directed by Burak Tatar.
Oh, hi, I'm KiYonna Carr. I'll say I'm reading for a second guest.
I'm Bess Winnick, and I'm reading for first guest.
Hi, Jessica Van Niel, and I'm the host.
Setting: just another day at the beach. Act 1: Darkness. The sound of gentle waves, slowly and steady. Crash, 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 crash. Lights up on a sunny sandy beach, maybe a giant sandbox covering the entire plain space. Three women in modest one-piece bathing suits sits in a beach chair facing us. They are surrounded by everything you need for a day at the beach with 7 kids. The women stare out at the water, at us. While they talk, the waves don't stop.
I mean, it's so horrible. I mean, it's so horrible.
It's horrible.
It's tragic.
It really is.
It's hard to believe.
I can't imagine what she was thinking.
She wasn't thinking. You can't be thinking rationally and do that.
I don't even want to talk about it. Should we have hot dogs for lunch?
Did you want to grill tonight?
Does he let you touch his grill?
Or should we just get pizza?
Don't cook. You don't have to cook for us.
I can eat anything.
I mean, we have stuff for sandwiches.
Sandwiches are fine. Whatever's easy.
Or isn't there a deli? Did we pass a deli yesterday?
Yeah, but it's too far to walk.
My boys can eat anything.
It's so much easier to have someone else make the sandwiches, but then you have to drive there.
Well, I don't want to get sand in anyone's car.
I can go.
Let's just stay here. We bought all that stuff. We should use it, right?
Yeah, let's stay here. The boys are off. Let's be lazy.
I love being lazy.
Boys! Boys! Come over here, boys! Boys! Come over here! It's so sad.
I just, for them, and then for him,
Can you imagine what he's going through?
it's tragic.
It really is.
Boys! Bring them over here. Are you hungry?
I could eat.
Should we have lunch?
I mean, I can always eat.
It's up to you.
I shouldn't eat anything. This is my maternity bathing suit. Thank God I kept it. It has this panel here in the front. It's like my best friend right now.
No.
It is. I need this, or I'd just be hanging out all over the place.
Oh my God.
She's so cute. She just keeps following the boys around.
She's such a sweetie.
She just loves the boys, doesn't she?
She always wants to be with the big kids.
And he's so good with her. Such a good big brother.
Not all the time.
He seems good with her.
No, he is. He just gets annoyed at her sometimes, but he's a good kid. They're both good kids.
It's nice. A boy and a girl.
2 girls would be.
Oh, just a lot of work. I mean, girls are hard.
And you, 3.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Oh, they're good.
I mean, 3 of them.
No, they're good.
They are. They're great. You can tell.
Would you ever try for a girl? One more?
I mean, we've talked about it before. It's a lot.
It's kind of asking for trouble. There's no way that ends well for anyone.
4 is a lot.
And you don't even know, you know? I mean, it's still 50-50.
Yeah, and you're good at making boys.
And then you have 4 boys.
Oh, can you imagine?
You could have your own basketball team.
I'm not having 5.
That's probably what he wants, right? A whole team.
He's fine with 3. I think a girl would be for me.
They always want more. I'm sure he'd love a girl.
Oh, yeah. They love little girls.
The father-daughter thing is real.
Well, what about you?
No, I think we're done. 2 is good. We don't need a girl.
And 2's enough to make you crack, evidently. Lucky she didn't have more.
Boys!
Ugh, do I have to pee already? We've been down here for like an hour and I already have to pee.
Well, you can go up.
Do you want me to go?
You can't pee for me.
I can go up with you.
No, that's silly. I'll go later. It's not that bad.
This way. Bring them this way. Help them.
What are we going to do tonight? Our big night alone.
I have wine. We could grill.
He lets you touch his grill.
Or we could just make salad. Or like hot dogs for the kids.
Something light is fine with me.
Totally fine, but yes to the wine.
Boys, this way. You have to watch. When you get to that log, it's time to come back over here where we can see you. It's like they can't even see us. It's like they forget we're here. What do you think the boys will do tonight?
Their night of freedom.
I'm glad they got to go today. They'll have fun.
No, it's a great course. They keep it really nice.
They could have come back today.
Yeah, but they'll be tired. And it's just far enough. You know, the drive is tough after a whole day.
Yeah, they'll have fun.
And we'll have our fun.
Yeah.
With their kids.
Oh.
It's fine.
I'm just saying.
I know.
No, I'm glad that they went. They deserve it. And it's nice to be just us for a day. We've never done this.
I know. It's nice.
What was she thinking? Like, did she even know she was doing it?
I saw her brother said she was depressed, but not like depressed, not like she'd do that.
I mean, how could you ever tell if anyone could do that?
I don't know how you can be a mother and do that. Like, you're not a mother. That's not what mothers do. That's the opposite of what mothers do. I'm just saying.
It's so sad. It's tragic.
I mean, there's a special place in hell, you know?
This girl I went to high school with had postpartum.
Did she tell you?
Well, I don't really talk to her. Her cousin told me. She has the cutest little boys, very sweet, both blonde.
What did she say?
Just that she was totally depressed all the time for like a whole year.
For the first year?
That's horrible.
I mean, it's hard, but that's just part of the job, isn't it? Like, you're tired.
And your entire body hurts.
But you just do it, don't you?
Yeah, you just do it. Like instincts take over.
But how do you know if you're depressed or depressed?
You know, mine were easy. I mean, I was tired, but you just do it. Maybe I was lucky.
And he helps too, right? More than some of them.
Oh yeah, he's great. I mean, he had to work too, but yeah, you know, he was great.
Mine was great too.
I mean, they can't do everything, but they're great.
Boys! Do you see the log? When you get to the log, you have to come back here where we can see you.
Would you really have another?
No, they're all older now. I mean, I think about it, but no. I have boys.
Would you have another?
No, I got lucky. One boy, one girl, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Perfect set, easy peasy. Three's a lot once they outnumber you.
No, 3 is fine.
You do it. You're great at it.
I just don't need anymore.
I always wonder. I had one before either of them, almost had one, just 3 months. And I didn't want to know, boy or girl, but now I wonder sometimes. But it all worked out.
Should we eat? Boys! It's like they don't even see us.
What do you think the guys are doing?
They're probably a few holes in by now. Actually, yeah. Maybe they're through the first 9.
They'll have fun. I'm glad they went.
Oh, it's a pretty course. What do you think her kids thought? Like, did they even know what was happening?
It's hard to imagine.
It's tragic. It's truly tragic.
I mean, your mom tells you to do something and you do it, right?
Well, mine don't.
But they don't think you're trying to do that.
No, God, no.
Like, were they scared?
I mean, they must have been eventually.
I can't even think about it. I mean, I think about her kids and I, those precious little babies, they're such a gift. And to do that,
It's also like they were 3 and 5.
3 and 5.
Like, you got them through diapers. You did the really hard stuff. You can kind of sleep again.
Kind of.
But like, you made it this far. You invested, not invested, but no, it's not an investment, but it is like an investment. You put in all this time, and then you're gonna, after all those years of teaching them to brush their teeth and bedtime stories and laundry, and teaching them to talk, for God's sakes, you taught them to talk. And then
it's hard to imagine.
and you love them too, obviously.
Yeah, you love them. After 5 years, you love them.
You love them immediately.
Oh, yeah.
When you first see them.
When you first feel them inside you, you love them.
And then you get to know them, their little personalities.
Oh, mine are so different.
They are.
I mean, everyone is different.
Yours look just like him though. And they act like him too, like little miniatures.
Mini me's.
But not me.
A little.
Yeah, a little. Oh, like my dad.
It's cute. They're just like their dad too.
Yeah.
It's cute how that happens.
That's just nature.
They look up to their dads.
And girls?
Not the same.
No.
I am nothing like my mom.
Oh, me either.
You are, though.
Not really.
You look just like her.
Not really. That's different.
And the same mannerisms.
But we're very different people.
She's so sweet.
No, she is.
Will we see her this week? I want to meet them.
I don't think so. I told her we needed the room.
We're a lot to deal with, too.
No, it's a lot.
My mom hates. No, she doesn't.
Are they coming next week?
Yeah.
She hates him. She can't stand him. She won't say anything, never tell me, but I can tell she hates him.
They spend most of the summer here.
That's so nice. Lucky them.
Like, he'll say something and she just wrinkles up her face. And she thinks I can't see her. I don't notice, but like, how could I miss it?
They just left because we were coming.
Oh, wow. Now I feel bad.
Oh, it's a 10-minute drive. It's easy.
Or like sometimes he'll be talking about something I don't know, it doesn't matter. And he'll just go in the other room and he's like mid-sentence and she's off, like, hey kids, what's going on in here? And I'm like, and like, he is annoying, I get it, but also he's talking in his own house and you just walk out of the room.
Still, it's sweet of them.
They're here all summer. I mean, it's just a week.
Still, nice of them to let us come.
And sometimes she just makes this face like she just passed a kidney stone or like someone threw a rock at her. It's like she doesn't even think we can see her or something. And yeah, he doesn't notice. And my dad doesn't notice. He doesn't notice anything. But I do. I can see her make this stupid face. It's like she doesn't even care if I see, but whatever. I don't do anything. I don't need to make a deal. It's not a big deal. It's not worth it, but it's annoying and rude to him and to me.
It's just a week.
Well, if we don't see them, thank them for us. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Your mom sounds sweet.
Yeah, she is. What was she thinking?
I read the first one was a surprise.
You really researched this, huh?
I just think it's interesting. And like, she didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh, it just popped out.
I don't get that. You know you're pregnant. You don't have a baby and it's a surprise. Your body tells you. You can feel it.
She said she didn't know.
That's crazy.
Maybe she didn't want to know. She was so freaked out that she just bottled it all up, wouldn't let herself tell anyone.
I guess.
I mean, people deny a lot.
Not a baby.
No, they'll push their way out.
And then she had a baby to raise and they talked about giving it up for adoption, but at that point,
I mean, you can't do that. It's biology. Your body won't let you.
so they kept it. And then another one.
You boys too.
It's so sad.
It really is.
I should pee.
You could go in the water too.
Really?
You don't think people pee in there?
My boys do.
No, I should go up.
Oh my God. Who was the one in the 90s? She like fully cut off his.
Oh my God.
Like in a trailer park or somewhere.
And did they try to put it back on?
Can they do that?
I think they did.
What did he do to her?
Like, did he deserve it?
Does anybody deserve that?
Sometimes they all deserve that.
Oh,
I mean, that one you kind of get, like that one you can imagine, right?
I mean,
You know what I mean.
I could never.
I'm not saying that,
no.
but you could imagine the thinking, like, go right where it hurts.
Not really.
No, I just mean, you can imagine why she'd go for it, even if you couldn't do it.
I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Even though we need that part. I know, I'm awful. I mean, I couldn't, you know I couldn't. And I wouldn't want to do what she did. And she was kind of trashy. And she got really famous. She was everywhere.
Boys, don't let her go under the floaty. Don't let her go under the floaty. You have to watch. Don't let her go under there.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
What does he do now? You know?
Yeah.
Or like not now, but later. Like, does he get married? Remarried?
Wow.
Like, does he start over? Kids again?
Jeez, I don't know.
Or do you just...
I mean, if you want a family, and presumably he wanted a family, don't you still want it?
Yeah, but now, I don't know. After all this, maybe you just give up. Maybe you can't just start over.
Yeah, that's tough. Like, maybe you don't want to go through all that again.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen.
No. I mean, all this starting over, meeting someone and dating, getting to know someone. Maybe after all this, you can't do that again.
I mean, talk about trust issues.
Yeah, I get that.
I can't imagine.
But if you want a family, like if that's the life you want,
But after it's been taken away like that,
maybe you want it more.
I don't know.
you can't just plan that though. Like, just start over like nothing happened.
Yeah. When you always feel like haunted by them, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't even want to think about it.
I'm just saying, if you know what kind of life you want, you have to make it for yourself.
Yeah.
But maybe that changes. After something like this, maybe you can't just go back. Like, maybe you're like fundamentally changed.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think you are who you are. And if you really want something, if you really want this life,
Maybe.
I mean, how do you know what life you want though? Maybe he really didn't want it. Maybe this just gets him out of it, right? Maybe he thought he wanted it, but then he was like, actually, this sucks. Actually, I just want to play video games all day or live on a boat or like surf and live in a van. I don't know. And then this happens and you're like, wow, now I can do whatever I want.
so she did him a favor.
No,
God.
but maybe he's, I don't know, free now. He can do whatever he wants after this. Like, don't you just do whatever the fuck you want?
But maybe what he wants is to go home to his wife and kids.
You can't do that.
I just think it's interesting that he got like a clean slate. You know, he's not going back to that house.
God, no.
I'm guessing his job is like take some time off.
Oh, for sure.
It's not like see you at the budget planning meeting.
Oh, God.
God, they probably don't even want to look at him. So like, now what does he do?
I don't know.
What do you do when it all gets erased? If you can just start again. I mean, I don't want that.
No.
And certainly like not that way.
No.
But it is an interesting question. I guess.
I don't want to think about it.
I mean, we got lucky.
We did.
Our guys are good guys.
But what if they weren't? What if you get married, you have a kid, maybe two, and then, oh wait, your husband is an actual psychopath. What do you do then?
I mean, you can get a divorce.
But do you really want to do that?
I mean, people do.
Of course, but do you want to go through that? Put your kids through that?
Of course not.
But if he's a psychopath.
Okay, not a psychopath, just like a bad person, someone you don't respect anymore.
I mean, yeah. I guess you figure out a way, but luckily, we chose well. We got lucky.
Well, yeah, we did.
We chose very well.
I'm so glad we came.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm glad you came.
Finally.
When we keep talking about it.
It's so lovely.
You're so lucky.
I know. We really are. I love it.
And how long will you stay?
3 weeks, I think. I mean, he'll go back for a week and come back, and then his parents come the last weekend.
How is that?
It's fine.
They seem nice.
Did they come for the thing at the club?
Yeah, that was them.
They're fine. You know, she's a lot to deal with. She's always running around. I just have to let her do her thing and not worry about it.
She must get excited to see the boys.
She does. She does. But she's always she's always obsessing over everything they have. Where did you get this? And where can I get this for her other grandkids? She can't just sit down and enjoy anything. She's always buzzing around.
That sounds annoying.
It's fine. We don't see her that often, which is good. We go there for a couple days at Christmas maybe, and they come for a weekend here or there, but I don't feel the need to be around her that much. I don't like how she acts around them, so it's fine.
Just do what you need to do to keep everyone happy, right?
She's never happy. It's fine.
Mine are dead, so I don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
It's sad, but it's easier. We do my parents for Christmas or we stay home. 2 options, easy.
I just don't like what she does to them. She tries to get them all riled up. They're my kids. You know, she had her kids, and these are my kids, and she fucked up her kids. I mean, they're fine. I like his sisters. I mean, one of them is a mess, and she just makes it worse. And they all act like they're so close, but they're not. If I'm being honest, they're jealous of what we have, what we've built, and you can just tell she thinks of this as her kingdom. Every year she's like, I just want one picture. Every year at Christmas, we have to get all dressed up, and she coordinates everything. All the colors have to match. And she gets her one picture of all of us, all her kids, all their kids, all smiles in front of their big tree, her kingdom, her legacy, her perfect thing, but we all hate it. And the boys hate having to dress up for one picture. They change right after that. And then we have this horrible dinner. She can't cook. And his father just gets drunk and watches TV.
Oh, should they,
boys?
Jesus Christ. Boys, that's too far. Come in closer, come in closer. That's too deep. Can you imagine coming home to that? To everything gone. Like he came home from work one day and his whole life was gone.
some days when he comes home, like after he changes and we sit down to dinner, he'll be like, so what'd you do today?
Like, so what'd you do today? Or like, so what'd you do today?
Like, I don't know, but I just want to be like, all of this. Like, do you see these kids running around and how they're alive and how they went to karate and the dog doesn't seem to have peed all over the house and there's food on the table and the kids are wearing, clothes? That's what I did today. I kept all this running. I kept them all alive.
And that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Not everyone can do all that.
She couldn't.
So like, what the fuck? What did you do today? I want to say, I had tea with the queen. I took a spa day. I took a quick trip to China. I ran 7 miles and climbed to the top of Kilimanjaro. I went to Cuba and smoked cigars with Fidel Castro. I negotiated a Middle East peace treaty. I played the bass and I was a backup singer for Beyonce. I cut an album and shot the video. I took a bartending class and created a new cocktail. I built a new table for the dining room. I painted a masterpiece that I hung up in the Louvre. I learned Cantonese. I had drinks with the Dalai Lama. I joined the UN. I got someone off death row. I ice skated at Rockefeller Center. I'm the new co-host on The View. I knitted you a sweater, asshole. I designed the new iPhone. I ran for Congress. I joined the Supreme Court. I'm the main judge now. I'm replacing Judge Judy. I went to Antarctica and built an igloo. I went to Africa and taught gorillas to use sign language. I hitchhiked across the American West. I herded sheep. I own a cattle ranch now. I wrote a song with Elton John for Adele. I flew to London and assassinated the Prime Minister. I spied on the French in a trench coat and this really cool beret. I went to a fashion show and sat in the front row with Beyonce. I hosted the Oscars. I won an Oscar for hosting the Oscars. I wrote a new Harry Potter book, and the kids like it better than the originals. I won The Bachelor. I'm the new Bachelorette. What do you think I did today? I did this. I kept all of this running. So you can come home and say, what did you do today? What the fuck did you do today? But I don't ask that because I kind of don't give a shit.
Boys!
Blackout. The waves grow louder. Crash, 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 crash. Act 2. The waves become radio static for several seconds. Then we hear, still in the blackout.
I loved it. It's so real, so visceral, so of the moment. Really, I loved it.
Thank you.
So, how do you get in the mind of someone so, I don't know, despicable? I mean, people think she's evil, right?
I don't think she's evil. I can't think she's evil.
But that's why she's so great.
So, did you have to, I guess, put aside your feelings about what she does?
Well, it's
Because it's kind of unforgivable, right?
I don't know.
I mean, it's unimaginable, I think, for most of us.
It is. It is unimaginable. But my job is
Our job is to imagine things. Our job is.
exactly. And what a privilege to imagine things.
Oh, it is.
But to answer your question, I really did need to go there, to imagine how she could be pushed to a place where she could just make this decision. So when the lights go up every night,
Lights up. The beach chairs, towels, bags are gone. 3 women are sitting in office chairs on the sand around a large table with 3 large radio microphones. They wear headphones and business casual drag, navy or black blazers, t-shirts, blouse, skinny jeans but no shoes. They're barefoot in the sand. Host has a stack of note cards. There's no break in the conversation.
I need to be fully present in that moment. I need to be someone who could make that decision.
And she really makes a decision.
She does.
When I saw it last night. I really was struck by she makes a decision.
She really does.
I think we think it'll be, if you know the story,
The myth.
we all think we know it, but then you see it and you think it must be this crime of passion.
Yeah.
But then you see it and it's premeditated.
It is.
And we really worked on that. We really focused in the room on how she could make that decision.
Because what a decision.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think, it's hard to imagine anyone really making that decision.
Of course.
I mean, I could never.
Of course.
I mean, it's a great story, a great production.
thank you.
But really, I don't think you could make that decision. I don't think anyone would really make that choice rationally, yet you make it so real.
Thank you.
But I don't really think anyone could make that choice in a premeditated way.
Well,
Do you?
I don't know. I think I can imagine how you could be pushed to a place where you really think like it's all you can do to fight back, where you feel this person has taken everything that you love, the life you've built, and that the only thing you can do to take that from him too is to.
It is the ultimate payback.
You've got to really think it's all over then. I mean, all you lose, everything.
You do.
I think that makes her scarier too, to me, that we don't know until we do. She seems fine, but if you push her hard enough, this might happen, right?
I think it is scarier.
I think of it as a warning call. Watch out, or this might really happen.
I could never.
No, of course not.
I mean, I don't have kids,
No, me neither.
No, not yet.
but if I did, I just know that my mother always said about having kids, how you just feel it's your only duty almost to protect these people, your children, from anything that might hurt them. So to turn around, it's just inconceivable.
It is.
Now, on your TV show, you play a very different kind of mom,
Yes.
a loving, caring mom, the kind of mom everyone wants.
People love this character.
I love this character.
Did you consciously choose this part to show yourself as a very different kind of mom?
It wasn't that calculated. I just go to the best parts and good collaborators like this one right here, this genius.
Oh, thank you.
But your character.
She's an amazing mom, but that's a bind too. She's always doing something for someone else,
She's amazing.
but she's flawed too. Or I think of her as flawed anyway. She's trying to be perfect, but she's not perfect. Just imagine what she has to do all the things she has to do.
There's that word again.
Right? But when I imagine her life outside the show, she's a lawyer, she's a wife, she's a mom, an amazing mom. She's compassionate, she's sexy, she's raising these kids, she's protecting her clients.
She's amazing.
But that all has to take a toll too, right? To do all that, I mean, I could never. So I just try to be compassionate to her, to think about the life underneath all this badassery.
So it must be very different to play this role every night.
It is so different.
You must get such different reactions.
It's funny. I've talked to some couples, friends who have come to the show, and they really get upset sometimes, or the women do. I have a friend who was just here. She texted me after the show. I wanted to say hi. She texted, but I really needed to go home to absorb it all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did I tell you? No, I didn't tell you this. Two friends, the husband came backstage after and he was like, oh, that was great. Whatever. And I'm like, where's your wife? And he's like, oh, she's outside. She needed a minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's he going home to?
Right.
But that's such an enormous compliment, like to provoke that kind of feeling. I mean, that's what we try to do, to make you feel things and think about those feelings.
Totally.
Well, I'm a little worried about their marriage.
It is so interesting to see how different couples react. Some people are just shocked, appalled by what she does.
It's shocking.
After the show, it's so interesting. Most people just get up and leave, of course, but there are always some women, always, who are just frozen in their seat, who just can't get up. Something's clicked off in them.
Or on. Some women come up to me after I was rooting for her the whole time.
I love that.
Interesting.
I wanted her to show him.
Oh, that's great.
Do you root for her?
Not exactly.
I do. I mean, I have to. Not root for her, but I need to want to do it. And I do. In that moment, I feel what she's feeling, and I want her to follow through on those feelings, to really do what she wants to do, what she feels she has to do.
See, that's why she's so good. She just transforms. This is like pushing a boulder up a hill. It's such a tough role. It's so huge. It's this mountain to climb, carrying the whole show on your back, and she just does it. It was so amazing to watch her in rehearsal, to watch her just become this whole other person.
Oh, thank you. I think to play this role, you have to get to the point where you believe you made this decision. You have to feel that you could do this too, every night. It's primal.
Well, I wouldn't want to get in your way after the show.
No,
I definitely feel more empowered, I guess. No, you would not want to mess with me after the show. I'm on fire. I'm electric. It's so interesting too. You feel this. My favorite part of the show is right after it happens.
At the end?
almost. Right after she does it, there's a blackout. And I'm standing right at the lip of the stage, like 10 feet, 6 feet from the audience. They're right there and I can feel them. That's the beauty of it. It's live. And when it happens, when she does it, you just feel this wave rush over them of anger and disgust and rage. And like, it's coming. You know the story, right? But I can just feel it wash through the audience and up on stage, all of their disgust and anger and rage. And it just blows through me. There's so much power there. It's my favorite part of the night.
Oh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you know it's coming.
If you know the story, and they have to know.
No, I mean, you know it's coming every night.
Oh, yeah, I know it's coming, but it still just blows me over. It's my favorite part of the show because I've made them so mad and I can feel it.
Wow, what power you have.
It knocks me out.
We should take a break here. If you're just joining us.
Then suddenly, still in the dark, radio static like before. The static becomes waves, a little louder than before, and progressively louder. Act 3. A small fire illuminates the beach. It's nighttime. Host and first guest are seated on their beach chairs again, pulled around the fire. Second guest stands at the lip of the stage or the edge of the sandbox and stares out at the water, at us. A shiver goes through her. Second guest joins the others by the fire. The waves get quiet, but don't stop. They all stare at the fire as they talk.
Thank you for cooking.
It's so easy.
It was so good.
So good.
It is good, right? I found it online somewhere a while ago.
Still, thank you.
It's easy.
No one ever says that, right?
What?
Thank you. At least not in my house.
Oh, God, no.
They're little.
That's not what I was talking about.
Oh, well.
He's sweet, though, and funny.
He is. He is. He is.
He's so funny.
That time at your house, I laughed so hard I peed.
Really?
Oh my God, that was funny.
Well, yeah, a couple of drinks.
I mean, he's a character.
So funny.
Yeah, he's something.
Is he like that with the kids? Funny like that?
Not quite like that. Once in a while. It's a different audience, when he's with his guys.
Yeah, guy stuff.
You're probably laughing a lot today.
I hope so.
Laughing at something.
The course is so close to the hotel, too.
Oh, that's nice.
I just, it's so, he gets going and it's like he thinks he's on stage or something. Like he thinks he's a comedian or something. And I just find it, I don't know, fake. Like he watches all these comedy shows all the time. And I really do think he's studying, like picking up tips. Like he thinks he could do it. And like he'll say stuff like, this one really isn't that good. Or he's not as good as he used to be. Like he's the expert, like he's been in the biz or something. Like he knows comedy, They're all just putting together these shows for him and he gets to decide who's actually good. But he's not that funny. He just likes to be the center of attention. So people think that's funny because it just like breaks the monotony or of whatever all the other guys are talking about. But he's not actually funny. Like if you saw him on TV, you'd be like, who's this fucking accountant? Who is this drunk in his khakis or sweatpants telling some joke he heard on The Office when he was watching it for the 50th time? He's not original. He's not insightful. He's not actually funny. He's just saying something that sounds like a joke, but he's a joke.
I bet they're laughing a lot today.
I hope so.
I bet they're having fun. Do you think she gets it now?
Like, do you think she's sorry? I mean, she must be, right?
I don't know. I think if you can do something like that, you don't even know what sorry is. If she knew, she wouldn't have done it.
But maybe she knows now. Maybe she lost it, but now she's back in her right mind.
I don't think she could have a right mind to begin with if she did that.
Do you think the kids are okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
They're in bed. They're so close.
I know. You're right. You're right.
They know where we are.
They're in bed.
If the guys came back early and we're down here and they're up there alone,
They're fine.
I just wouldn't want anyone to get upset that we left them alone up there.
They're not alone. They're all up there. They know where we are.
Yeah. You're right.
They're in bed.
I know. You're right. They're totally fine.
They're fine.
We turned the grill off, right?
I think so.
I turned it off. I'm sure it's off.
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry.
I just can't imagine. Can you imagine?
Oh my God, no.
Like, what would make you?
It's tragic.
It really is.
I could never.
Of course not.
Can you imagine?
I can't.
I know we all joke, I could kill you. Haha, but you don't mean that.
God, no.
I mean, we all say stuff. You don't mean it.
God, no.
What would make you do that? Like, what was she thinking?
I mean, she wasn't thinking. If she was thinking, she wouldn't do it.
Yeah. If you were feeling that, whatever she was feeling, you'd catch yourself. You wouldn't let yourself do it. You wouldn't go through with it, right?
No.
What would it feel like? Like, do you think she felt bad at that last moment? Like she did know what she was doing?
What about now? What does she think now?
She doesn't look like she's sorry. Like she gets it.
No, which is so
Fucked up.
fucked up.
That's what makes her a monster. That she doesn't look like she gets it. She looks, I don't know, so unfeeling.
What does he think?
I'm sure his world is shattered.
It's tragic.
Like his entire life is gone.
What a nightmare.
I used to have this dream, and it didn't make sense. It was a feeling more than something happening, or something happened, but I couldn't remember it. Only what it felt like. I was trying to hold up our house, the old house, the first house, the one where the boys were born. 2 of them. Our second house, our first family house. I was trying to hold it up. Somehow the bricks were falling off. It was an old house, but not that old, and I could just barely hold it all together, but then something happened and all of the bricks just crashed. Like there was something holding them, but then they all just fell and there was no house left. And all our stuff was just left in the center. No house, just the stuff that goes in the house. And it was terrifying. Like if all your organs and your esophagus and your kidneys and like your intestines were suddenly out of your body, like you were just holding them in your hands, carrying them around. It felt like that. And I was so sad. I love that house. So scared what would happen to us. Where would we go? And how would we get all our stuff, our life out of this rubble?
I hope the guys had fun today.
I'm sure they did.
No, it's a beautiful course. They keep it really nice.
Do you think he feels guilty? Like he should have, I don't know, seen the signs?
How could you, though? How could you even think someone could do this? It's not normal.
But did he? I mean, they're saying he was having an affair now. He was cheating on her.
Oh, wow.
So, like, does he feel guilty?
But that's not, I mean, that's not right. You shouldn't do that, obviously, but that doesn't mean you do what she did.
No.
That's not the normal response.
No.
You get a divorce or you go to counseling therapy or whatever.
Oh, I think you get a divorce. I get a divorce. You're not doing that and coming back to me in my bed. No.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But like,
Are we talking one time or like a long affair with the same person, like a relationship? Because that's different.
Anything. If I can't trust you,
Wow.
but do you know that?
yeah.
But how do you know until it happens, right?
I think I know.
No, yeah, I just mean until it happens, how do you really know? Like what you do.
I know how I feel.
But maybe if it happened, if, I don't know, you discovered something, not like you walked in on him and your best friend, not like a movie or something.
That's not like a real thing.
But what if like you just had a feeling? I don't know, like you just knew, but you didn't know. Maybe you don't, I don't know, pretend you didn't know.
I don't know if I could do that.
But do you know? Or just like suspect? Because that's different.
I don't know. Maybe you like know.
I don't know. Hopefully, I won't have to deal with that. I mean, I won't. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, of course. None of them would.
They better not.
Of course, they won't.
I don't know that I don't know that I don't know that I knew exactly what I was getting myself into, that he would always be there. That sounds very, we say that like it's a good thing, like I'll always be there, he'll always be there for you, but also he'll always be there. Even when you want to be alone, even when you want to do something else, he'll always be there. And if you ignore that, ignore him, you can go in the other room and watch your own shows or something. He hates my shows. He calls them my women talking shows. So I just go in the other room. You can find a way to be alone in a crowded house, and that helps. You get used to it, and it gets easier and easier to block out all the noise. Just ignore everything.
Do you think they're asleep?
They're probably up talking. It's fun to see them all together.
I think they're having fun. I'm so glad we did this, finally.
Do you ever think like how we've tied ourselves to these guys? I mean, we're lucky. They're all good guys.
Great guys.
Great guys. But did you know that when you married them, him, like for sure, like you meet someone, you date, and you decide to go for it. And I thought about it, and I did, but I don't know now if I really did. Like, I didn't know everything about him. He still does stuff, and I'm like, what is this? Who is this person?
Like what?
I don't know, like stuff. Like one of my boys wanted to quit soccer, and he was like, no, he's playing. And I was like, well, if he doesn't like it, and he was just, he's not quitting. He's not a sissy. He needs to toughen up. And like, I get it.
Yeah, he just doesn't want him to quit stuff to get in that mindset.
Yeah, I guess. I just, maybe he should maybe he should do what he wants to do too. They're all so different. One of them loves soccer, the other two hate it, and they can't all be exactly the same, exactly like him, right?
The other day, he says to his son, not his daughter, when you grow up and you're a lawyer. Like he had already decided. And I was like, why do you think he wants to do what you do? Why do you assume that?
It's sweet though.
I guess, but like let him decide what he wants to do on his own. Let him figure it out. He's not going to be a lawyer.
They just want them to be like they are. They want to, it's like they're always an extension of them.
An extension of their dick.
Oh.
I'm kidding. But you know what I mean. Like, they're like, you came out of here. Now you must do what I say and reflect well on me. And they came out of here.
Oh.
I remember.
I remember.
I mean, we got lucky, right? We got the good ones. We picked great guys, but like, imagine if we didn't. Imagine if we picked jerks. There are jerks out there and you don't know.
I knew.
I mean, yeah, some guys, you can tell they're jerks from across the room, but sometimes you don't know. They're cute, they're nice, and you get fooled. You get fooled into thinking they're good guys, but they're not.
There are a lot of jerks out there.
And what if you don't find out until it's too late? What if you marry this person? What if you have a kid with this person and then it comes out? Then you start to notice all this stuff that maybe you could have noticed before, the stuff that the people around you maybe noticed before, but you didn't pay attention. Like when he doesn't feel well the first time you move in together, so you kind of unpack everything yourself. And then when you move into your new house and he needs to lie down while you unpack the kitchen stuff and wipe down the cupboards and put it all away, or when he wants to go home early from your favorite cousin's wedding because his stomach hurts, which is fine. His stomach hurts. You don't want him to go alone, but you kind of want to stay and dance. And then what if you kind of see that your friends seem to notice and you can tell your parents or your cousins or your friends start to feel a little off around him, but you think they're jealous or something. You trust your judgment and they don't say anything. They just feel off, but you ignore it until you start to feel it too. But then it's too late. The contract is signed, there's a house and an SUV and a new car that's smaller and cooler that he can drive to work while you're home with the kids, because you can go back to work after 1, but then there are 2 or 3, and that's a lot to handle. They're all on different schedules, and by this point, he's making more. You're really comfortable, and you can afford all the things you want on just his salary and the bonus, and really, he wants you to stay home. He likes taking care of you, and isn't it more comfortable for everyone? No more conflicting work schedules. You can plan it all around his schedule. Vacations and holidays, although you don't go anywhere on holidays. He's too tired, but it feels good to him to support you, to let you enjoy being home all the time. But what if you don't enjoy being home all the time? What if it suddenly feels like this enormous weight you have to carry, like this giant boulder you have to carry around the house and in your SUV on the way to baseball practice and drop off and soccer? And when he's around, when he's home, he feels like he needs to put down his weight. This giant boulder he thinks he's carrying, supporting you and the kids and the mortgage and the SUV and the car that he just upgraded, that he drives to work and to go off on the weekends with his friends. So his boulder, he leaves it at the office or at the door or in the garage, and he's tired. And so he lets you carry your boulder around the house. You can put the kids to bed and wash all their clothes and stay up with them when the little one doesn't feel well, when he's throwing up all night. You can handle that because he's tired and he needs to get up in the morning to carry his boulder back to the office, even though you need to get up earlier because your oldest needs to get to school earlier now that he's in middle school, and the middle one takes so long getting dressed. But what if that's when you realize, just in the back of your mind, one morning while eating the last corner of a cold piece of toast your oldest left behind, he never finishes anything. You're always slurping up his cold, milky cereal. What if that's when you realize, when you get back from drop off and you haven't eaten anything all morning, what if that's when you realize he might be kind of an asshole? What do you do then? What if that's when you realize what you might do? What might run through your mind is, there's no way out of this. There's a mortgage and 2 cars. The SUV and the cute little one he never takes you out in. It's easier if you drive when you go out in case he has another beer and feels too tired to drive home after a long week, and he doesn't want you to drive his car and mess up his seat settings. What if that's when you realize there's no real way out? You'll always have the boys to take care of. He'll need to pay for everything with his good salary and his bonus, and you'll eat your cold toast unless there aren't any boys to take care of, and you could sell the SUV and let him keep the cute car, and you could just grab a few things, some of the pants that still fit, after what 3 humans do when they pass through your body, and then hang around and make sure you don't ever sneak down to the basement where the treadmill is. His treadmill, even if he hasn't been on it in months either, and his body grows far bigger than yours. Like, now he's carrying a human around with him on his gut. No one seems to notice. And what if that's when you realize you could take those clothes and you could pack a bag and you could run off and do something else? Even if you don't really have time to imagine, like you forgot how to imagine what that might be. But you have those 3 boys. So how do you not have those 3 boys? Where do they go?
Do you think they're okay up there?
I'm sure they're fine.
There's no way the guys could come back early, right?
No. They're having fun. They won't come back until tomorrow.
They've already had a few beers by now. They won't drive.
They're probably passed out. They're not 25 anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. It's fine.
What would make you do that?
I don't know.
No. What would make you do that?
Oh, God.
Nothing.
No.
But what could he do that might make you consider it?
I couldn't. If he cheated, maybe. If he was fucking some young girl or something, if he left me for some young girl, I'd be pissed.
Enough to...
No, but I'd consider drastic measures, I guess.
Like what?
I don't know. Burn all his clothes. He wouldn't know what to do. I buy all his clothes. He wouldn't know where to go. He doesn't even know his fucking sizes, for Christ's sake. He couldn't buy himself a pair of pants.
They're so helpless sometimes.
What do you think she was thinking? Like, was she thinking? Or did her brain just go on the fritz? Did she just lose it? Did she just lose her mind? Like, was she tired?
Maybe she had a plan. You would need a plan.
I remember pulling an all-nighter in B school or 2, and I was just delirious, you know? Like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just talking gibberish, and my roommate was just like, go to bed.
Maybe she knew exactly how she would do it.
Like, you gotta go to bed right now.
I know how I'd do it if I had to, if I decided it was time.
She was like, you're not making any sense right now. You're delirious. Go to bed. You're useless.
It would be a Friday. I would do it on a Friday. I would do it on a Friday, like the one Friday a month we actually go out, usually a work thing for him. So it's work for me too, the closest I get anyway. The polite conversation, the way you talk with someone you don't really know and probably don't want to know, but you're there to play the part. So you play a part. It's the only time we get a sitter. It's like we get someone else to do my job so I can go out and do his job. While he plays the big guy host, he talks to the waitress and makes a big thing of getting out his card to pay. And he does this whole thing. No, this is on my uncle. And everyone laughs and he says something stupid like, great guy, such a smart guy. Like his opinion matters, even though he's met the CEO like one time, shook his hand at some big meeting. But we all smile like they're close friends, like the CEO calls him for advice. And then after dinner, I'd drive home because he had that extra drink and talked with the client or whatever, while I pretended to care about the wife's whatever she was talking about. And he'd kind of nod off in the car. And we'd get home and he'd wake up enough to talk to the sitter, this college girl who lives on the other side of our development, just far enough that he can justify driving her home. But first they talk in the living room about sports or something, and she doesn't care. But she plays along because he's paying her for her time. He's her boss in this situation, and she seems to know it. And she just laughs and answers his stupid questions about how the team is doing, and does she ever see so-and-so on campus, and he isn't really as good as they all say he is, and isn't the coach kind of an asshole? Meanwhile, I'd go upstairs and check on the boys, which seems ironic in this instance, but it's habit. But then I'd get out my roller bag, which I had packed earlier that day. And when he left with the sitter, I'd quickly follow the plan exactly. No time for sentiment or regret or second thoughts. I'd take that big knife from the kitchen, the Japanese one from our wedding registry. I think my roommate from college bought it for us. The one he uses to carve the turkey at Thanksgiving when I've spent the day cooking, making breakfast for everyone, a couple of hours after putting the turkey in the oven, and then making every side dish while he watches TV with the boys, makes fun of the parade, and takes a nap at some point, until he sits at the head of the table and I give him the big knife and show him how to carve the turkey in front of his family, the big guy in charge presiding over the table, everything that I made. But this time I'd take the knife and I'd act fast, so they wouldn't have time to know what's happening. One quick cut under the chin, the blood running like fat spilling out from the cut between the turkey's leg and its body. He's always taking the drumstick and never finishes it. And then that would be done, the hardest part, but the most necessary, because once that's done, everything else flows so simply. Once the first step is done, you can't go back, can't change your mind. And he'd come back from the sitter thinking how much she probably wants him. And I can guarantee you she does not want him. I'd almost respect him more if he'd made a move on her, but I know he doesn't even have it in him. I don't want him either. I don't think anyone does. So he'd come back and go right to his closet to take off his pants. He wouldn't check on the boys, which makes things easier for me, but doesn't give me the satisfaction of finding him, of him finding them, or of me getting to see if he's more upset about the kids or scared for what might happen to him. Seeing him go into a panic, thinking someone is in the house, that someone is broken in, gotten past that stupid security system to steal our things, steal our life. He'd think he was in danger, that he'd had to protect himself, but he wouldn't know how. He wouldn't know any of that. So as soon as I heard him go into the bathroom, as soon as I heard him start to take a piss, that's when I'd come up behind him with the same knife, this time with a quick stab to the throat, enough to stun him into submission without enough blood flowing that it would be over soon, but not too soon. That's when I tell him about the boys, that this was the end of the line, the end of his line, that this is the end of everything that we built, the end, no more. No more smiling through his dumb jokes, no more expense account dinners, no more of his cold feet in the bed and trying to sleep with his stupid TV on so loud, no more. Then I'd go to the shower. I'm assuming there'd be some splatter, and I'd give myself a quick rinse, or maybe a nice long shower. No one knocking on the bathroom door, asking for someone for the first time in a long time. And then I'd put on the outfit I'd chosen for the night, the yoga pants he hates, a hoodie I've had since college. And I'd take that bag I packed and I'd head out to his car, the seat still warm from him driving the sitter home. And I'd slip out for that weekend, the last weekend of freedom, a spa weekend with massages, with yoga. But I wouldn't eat the spa food. No. I'd eat big, juicy steaks and French fries and ice cream and pie, a whole pie each night, just for me. The last weekend of freedom before anyone notices that the kids didn't go to school and he didn't show up for work. And it's all so quiet in our house.
The waves are really, really loud now. Crash, 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 crash. Host and first guest just stare at the second guest. Second guest closes her eyes, tips her head back, thrusts her chest out to us, and takes a giant breath. She takes in whatever we're giving her, holds it in, and lets it go.
I wonder what the boys are doing.
I hope they're having fun.
It's a beautiful course. They keep it really nice. The kids were so tired today. We wore them out.
Until tomorrow.
Do you think they're okay up there?
They're fine.
And the boys won't be back yet.
Not till tomorrow.
It's just us.
They all stare at the fire. Crash, 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 crash. Blackout. End of play.
Thank you for joining us for this reading of I Could Never.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for HP Studio for including us in this important reading series. I'd like to thank Jessica, Ryan, KiYonna for jumping on board in a very short amount of time. Thank you, Jennifer, Moshi, Melissa, and Frank for organizing this. And Chad for writing brilliantly disturbing, provoking play. I would love us to work on it again and keep going. So thank you, and thank you for our guests coming and watching our work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Burak.
Burak. Thank
And
you
Jennifer.
for contacting us.
Yes, and wonderful to work with you too.
Is that it? Do we get off now?
Everybody have a great evening. Good
You
night.
too.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Feel free to answer the chats. People are congratulating you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Dad.